Rino Turakatna.
Kia ora, Mr. Speaker. I'm pleased to speak in support of this bill, the Enhancing Identity Verification and Border Processes legislation bill at this first reading. And so, I note that the Speaker that's just resumed her seat mentioned how the government, this is how the government responds. And it is sad in a way, sir, that they are responding to this because this piece of legislation has come about because of a succession of huge blunders that were made by a succession of government agencies. If we look at corrections, justice, customs and internal affairs, all of those agencies dropped the ball. They dropped the ball and allowed a very serious convicted criminal who was still carrying out his sentence to be issued with a passport, cross through the border, jump on a plane and end up on the other side of the world in South America. Now, sir, that was a huge blunder, and yes, we know that things need to be fixed, but we don't want to be seeing these blunders happening all the time. We're seeing it too often in food safety areas, and now we're seeing it in border protection areas. So therefore, sir, I do acknowledge the good work by the retired High Court Judge Dr. John Priestley QC and Simon Murdoch, who conducted this inquiry after the debacle of Philip John Smith Trainer, also known as Philip John Trainer, into the failings of our government agencies in preventing a very serious criminal from just jetting away out overseas. And so, sir, I think, as I mentioned, the issue around this bill gets to the nub of the one issue, which is the issue of aliases, also known as. So we had Philip John Smith, also known as, aka Philip John Trainer, and the fact that his identity information was able to be from his birth. He had a heinous criminal career under the family name of his stepfather, and so those failings, sir, led him to be able to apply for a passport under his birth name, and no one knew otherwise. No one within the government agencies knew otherwise. And so this bill, sir, does crack down on that. It does allow the agencies to share more information to ensure that we don't see these events happening again, sir. Sure, there are operational changes which I understand that the agencies concerned are already carrying out, and this bill just implements the legislative changes that are needed at a legislative level. And so we do welcome these changes, but I do note the concerns of the Green Party that, you know, whenever you are looking at sharing of private information, we need to make sure that the systems are robust. We obviously note that as identified in the report, there was a complete failure of or lack of comprehensive systems in place in the case of Mr. Smith. And so, sir, we do want to make sure, and I think that's why this bill needs good, thorough examination and consideration at the Select Committee to ensure that the right balance is struck, because at the end of the day, sir, we want to get it right. We want to make sure that the bad persons of high interest in the criminal justice system aren't allowed to just jump on a plane and just fly out of the country. But we also want to ensure that it doesn't unnecessarily intrude on those people who are not of high interest to the criminal justice system. So this is a commendable, some long overdue measures which we do welcome, sir. I think perhaps I was interested to note about the use of biometric information. We're talking about retinas and thumbprints and various other unique identifiers that we do have. And I'm pleased, sir, that although the biometric systems weren't in place, there certainly was a biological impact on Philip John Smith when he was intercepted in Brazil and brought back and thrown back into prison here, sir, because he went away with what seemed like a fulsome head of hair, and he came back completely bald. And I think it was good, sir, that our law enforcement folks, whether they were in Brazil or our own police, were able to yank him back to prison here in New Zealand so he can, and I understand he's awaiting the further charges and the outcome from his brief South American escapade. But, sir, we do support this bill. We do look forward to examining it further at Select Committee middle, at the Select Committee, and I commend it to the House.
Dr. Shane Reti.
Thank you, Mr.